Before you go out and share your 2026 New Year's resolution to the world, I want you to stop and rethink what you may have just made, because you may have made a big mistake that could be costing you time, effort, and maybe even money to reaching your goals. So we've finally officially arrived to the most wonderful time of the year again. And no, I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm not talking about New Year's, but I am talking about the season of New Year's resolution. You know the drill. It's that time when your social media feed is flooded with intense messages of getting in shape, exercising more, eating healthier, new year, new you, that sort of thing. But let me be honest with you for a second. Just hearing those types of goals makes me feel exhausted. And it's not because you don't care about your health. It's not because you're lazy. It's because every single January, these goals are framed in a way that feels almost like punishment. They feel like a chore that has absolutely nothing to do with your real life. So today I want you to try something different. I want you to ask different questions that just might change how you look at this new year. Let me ask you this. What if your New Year's goal wasn't actually about fitness at all? What if instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to go to the gym 2 days a week, your goal looks something along the lines of this. I want to wake up on day 2 of my Disney World trip without that low back stiffness, that stiffness that makes me wonder if I'm even going to make it till day 7. Here's the part that no one says out loud, but we all feel it. Generic resolutions tend to fail because they have nothing to do with willpower. In fact, they have very little to do with motivation. The reason that only 9% of people actually achieve their New Year's goal by the end of that year is that the goals aren't meaningful. Exercise more is vague. It's kind of boring. And quite frankly, for most of us that are juggling kids, work, household management, and other things, it just feels like another item on a never-ending to-do list. But here's the bigger issue: the physical consequence of getting this wrong. Most New Year's resolutions are built around the vague ideas of going to the gym. But here's the reality check. When it comes to Disney World, it's not a workout. If you train in a 45-minute spin class, yes, it's great for your heart. Yes, it's great for your endurance, your leg muscles, your core. And yes, it's good for low back pain, but it doesn't necessarily prepare your entire body for all the standing that you do on concrete for 90 minutes while waiting for Rise of the Resistance. Disney is 10 plus hours of continuous walking, standing, stopping, starting, navigating uneven surfaces, early mornings at rope drop, and late nights after the fireworks. When we set these vague goals that don't really translate into real life, we end up doomed to fail. And the consequence isn't just that you're going to stop going to the gym come February. The consequence is that when you finally get to the Disney parks, your body isn't prepared to handle what you've asked it to do. And we all know that feeling, the feeling of stiffness creeping in. You start counting how many hours until you can sit down again instead of looking at the joy on your kids' faces. You start letting your back pain dictate your schedule instead of scheduling your lightning lane reservations. That's the trap of the generic resolution. So, how do we flip the script? We do it by reframing the goal. Instead of asking yourself, will I stick to exercising this year? Which, let's be honest, it kind of sounds like a chore to even say that. I want you to reframe it in this way. Do I want to walk confidently from rope drop to fireworks without my low back pain dictating my schedule for me? When you ask that question in that way, the game changes completely. Suddenly, your goal isn't just a number on a scale. It becomes specific. It becomes meaningful and salient. And most importantly, it becomes emotionally connected to something you actually love. You stop trying to become a gym person, which might not even be who you are, and you start becoming a parks all day person. Think about what that looks like. The parks all day person is the mom who doesn't need to constantly scan the area for the nearest bench because her feet are throbbing. It's the dad who doesn't dread that long, cement pounding walk back to the resort bus at the end of the night. She's the one who isn't counting the minutes down until she can take some medicine to help her with her pain, but instead is fully present, making those magical memories with her kids. When you reframe your goal in this way, the benefits are massive. Suddenly, a few minutes of targeted movement doesn't feel like punishment for eating Christmas cookies. It feels more like Disney prep. Taking care of your body stops becoming something that you have to do and instead starts to become that secret weapon that ensures that you get the most out of that expensive vacation that you're planning. Consistency starts to feel purposeful and not punishing. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. I can practically hear the gears turning. Steven, I love the idea of being a parks all day person, but let's be real. I've got kids. I've got a job. And I can barely find the time to shower in peace, let alone train for a marathon at Disney. That brings us to the biggest roadblock standing in your way. The first one is that all or nothing trap. We've been conditioned to believe that if it's not an hour of sweating profusely at the gym, then it doesn't count. We think we need to be a gym person or some fitness content creator to be healthy. But remember what I said earlier. Disney World is not a workout. It's an endurance event of walking and standing. You don't need to bench press your body to survive a day at Epcot. You need a body that's resilient enough to handle the 20,000 steps on concrete going around World Showcase. That second roadblock is time, or rather the perception of time. When you look at those generic resolutions like get in shape, your body immediately calculates the massive time commitment it needs to make. And because your schedule is already packed, you give up before you even start. But when you strip away the aesthetics, when you stop worrying about looking a certain way and instead start focusing on functioning a certain way, the roadmap gets a lot simpler. You don't need 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. What you do need is targeted, smart prep. If your goal is realistic, even if it's exercising just 2 days a week with a specific movement or a set of movements that target your feet, knees, and low back, you're going to see a massive difference in your park days. Do not let the idea of perfect get in the way of being prepared. Okay, I didn't just spend all that time describing a problem without coming up with a solution for you. So, here it is. And actually, we've been talking about this this entire time. It starts with the mindset shift. It starts with changing that internal dialogue from, I need to exercise to burn off these calories, and shifting it towards, I need to prepare my body so I can enjoy every single moment of my vacation. That mindset shift is exactly what I help my clients work through. Because I know that trying to build these habits alone can be overwhelming. You don't need more guilt, but you need a specific plan. And you don't need a generic plan tailored for a bodybuilder. You need a plan tailored for the Disney traveler. That's why over the next few weeks, I'll be opening up slots for my one-on-one coaching cohort. This program is designed specifically for Disney travelers, people just like you, who want to stop letting their body dictate their park days because of pain. And I want to be clear about this. There are no extremes. There's no focus on aesthetics. And there is absolutely no guilt. Just a clear, supportive game plan to help your body handle the thing you're actually asking it to do. We're going to take the guesswork out of your physical Disney prep so you can focus on the fun stuff, the planning, the outfit picking, the magical memories that you're going to be making with your kids. So if you are ready to make 2026 the year that you become a parks all day person, keep your eyes and ears open. I'll be sharing more details soon about how you can grab one of those spots. But for now, I want you to focus on that reframe, that mindset shift. Be kind to yourself and start to think about movement as your gift to your future self at the Magic Kingdom. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, and magical 2026.